Today we're going to make history in the woods and forests media community and focus on the first ever all-lizard vivarium. But if woods and forests media has almost never featured lizards, then why is our first ever all-lizard enclosure built around an invasive species and not a native one? The Italian wall lizard, a fast, bold, and established invader in parts of the United States since the 1970s, has finally arrived, and it's time to talk about them in the Wild Vivarium show. Reports call them aggressive. Some say they outcompete native reptiles, and others fear they may pressure frogs around gardens and edge woodlands. So why choose this species as our first lizard enclosure? Because understanding an invader can be just as important as celebrating a native species. Their story matters, their impact matters, and their presence in Pennsylvania suburbs raises real ecological questions. Today we introduce this colony known as the Lizard Republic and explore their natural history, break down their invasive potential, and show why this unusual vivarium may be one of the most important we've ever built. The first reports of the Italian wall lizard invasion date back to the late 1970s, when pockets of introduced lizards began appearing across the eastern US. These escapees and releases, often accidental and sometimes intentional, created a small founding population as these colonies stabilized and expanded. Sightings crept along suburban corridors following rail lines, warehouses, nurseries, and warm microhabitats that mimic their Mediterranean origins. Pennsylvania's early records were scattered, small isolated observations. You could see the population here on the PARS map. The Pennsylvania Amphibian and Reptile Survey has been documenting this species since 2013, whenever the survey began. These developing pockets suggest that the Italian wall lizard may be establishing themselves along the edge of suburban environments in Pennsylvania, just as they did in other states, and the habitat they chose is telling. Retaining walls, gardens, roadside rubble, edges of woodlands, dry stone foundations, backyard patios and fences. These are just some of the microhabitats that allow this species to explode across Italy and later across northeastern American suburbs. Reports from surrounding states warn of their ability to outcompete native lizards, dominate basking sites, reduce available prey insects, expand rapidly once established, and thrive in human-modified landscapes. They can even survive colder winter than people had expected. And Pennsylvania has all the ingredients: suburban sprawl, warm stonework, fragmented forests, and climate pockets where the Italian wall lizards could potentially replicate their success. And that's why their story matters. Their growing presence in Pennsylvania is not fully studied, but their trajectory follows every pattern of a successful invasive reptile. By showcasing them in wild vivariums, we shine a light on a species that may shape the future of backyard ecology in ways many homeowners never see coming. Italian wall lizards are often described as bold, fearless, and even at times aggressive. But what does that actually mean in ecological and behavioral terms? Their attitude isn't random, it's a survival strategy, honed in over thousands of years of living among stone streets, human settlements, and rocky Mediterranean cliffs, where competition is constant and hiding spots are limited. Their confidence extends beyond their rivalries with other Italian wall lizards. They're also known to hold their ground against predators longer than expected. They approach humans out of curiosity. They rely on speed rather than hiding, and they perch openly on walls where they can even monitor the environment. Invasive populations often become even bolder over time. In the social hierarchy of the Italian wall lizards, there's always one alpha male, one dominant male lizard that assumes the throne. When it came time to name the dominant male of our first all-lizard enclosure, The choice had to reflect power, authority, and leadership. Enter Trajan, named after the Roman emperor who ruled one of the largest and most disciplined empires in history. Just as Emperor Trajan expanded and defended Rome's borders with strategy, skill, and courage, this lizard would soon establish and defend the territory of the Lizard Republic. From the moment Trajan entered the 125-gallon PA backyard vivarium, his behavior reflected the spirit of a true warrior. He moved with precision, surveying his surroundings, claiming high perches, of course, the main log where all of the heat comes down on, and immediately establishing a hierarchy among the other lizards. He chased a rival male, asserted dominance with head bobs and tail flicks, and carefully defended his basking area, the throne of the micro-empire. Like a soldier in training, Emperor Trajan arrived as a newcomer, uncertain but alert. He quickly tested the boundaries of his new domain and sized up every competitor, lizard, prey item, and anything else inside these walls of his kingdom. Through repeated displays of strength and boldness, he established himself as the uncontested ruler of this enclosure. The other male deferred to him, and while the females navigate this space with caution, Trajan patrols every branch, every rock, and the entire perimeter, enforcing order and ensuring that his territory is respected. His campaigns against intruders are swift, precise, and calculated. He has strategic advantage in his success. It's not just brute force like the emperor he's named after. Our Emperor Trajan uses intelligence, observation, and timing to maintain dominance without unnecessary risk. When planning the first ever all-lizard enclosure for wild vivariums, we had only a couple of choices, like the native 5-line skink, the Italian wall lizard, or the invasive geckos, but that's a story for another time. There are several reasons behind the decision to choose Emperor Trajan and his Lizard Republic. Native species are well documented on our channel, and most viewers are familiar with Pennsylvania reptiles. The Italian wall lizard allows us to teach a different story, the story of an invader, by showcasing how this species interacts with suburban habitats. We can explore the ecological consequences of human-mediated introductions. Italian wall lizards are fast, bold, and highly territorial, which creates dynamic, observable interactions inside the enclosure. Native lizards are often more secretive and shy, making it difficult to film them in their full behavioral range. With this species, viewers can clearly see dominance, hunting, and territorial displays, perfect for teaching natural history and behavioral ecology. By highlighting an invasive species, we can contrast their success with the native species and their vulnerabilities. This helps viewers understand why maintaining healthy native populations is important and how introduced species can alter ecological balance. It's a rare opportunity to examine the ecological ripple effect of invasions in controlled setting. We can also learn what these lizards might prefer in these backyard habitats. Do they enjoy eating fruit and seeds? Will they go after native species, both reptile or amphibian? And what are their preferences when exploring habitat? We can offer so much environmental enrichment and see what the lizards prefer and how they enjoy interacting with what we give them. The 125-gallon PA backyard vivarium was designed to replicate the microhabitats Italian wall lizards naturally seek, but with careful consideration for their behavior and welfare. Unlike our other vivariums, which focus on moisture-loving species like frogs and toads, this enclosure is warmer, drier, and structured for climbing and basking. These lizards have multiple heat sources to reduce territorial conflict. Even with all of the safety protocols, it doesn't stop Emperor Trajan from choosing violence and still striking down any of the males or females that get in his way. some of these conflicts are how he got that scratch underneath his jaw. Even though it has since healed up, these types of battles are what I have sought to try to eliminate inside this enclosure, but I soon found that no matter what you do, Italian wall lizards will always have conflict, no matter the situation, how big the enclosure, or how much food they're offered. Emperor Trajan is not to be trifled with. The PA Backyard's Vivarium is equipped with the same LED light from Jungle Hobbies that all of the frog and toad enclosures have, which means Emperor Trajan gets to enjoy an early sunrise in the morning and a beautiful sunset at night. He also gets an incredible Mist King that soaks the land and releases moisture to fill the atmosphere inside the dry enclosure. Their habitat contains the same sensors in any of my vivariums, with soil moisture, humidity, temperature, and even real fill and dew point being things that we look at across the 4 different enclosures. So we know what to expect with Emperor Trajan's PA Backyard Vivarium. These are just some of the little gadgets that are making his life even better. I can't wait to showcase even more about the Wall Lizard Republic and focus on so many different aspects about these lizards, doing scientific experiments, showcasing enrichment, and focusing on their social hierarchy. I can't wait to cover them even more in the Wild Vivarium show for Season 6. I hope that you'll continue to like and subscribe for more content, and stay tuned for more Wild Vivariums episodes. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks.